black owned, black support. You know, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be, you know, we build ground up. Black men support black men, yeah.
I seen you riding down the street in a condom float, man. What's that about? Kind of tell us where you from.
With me? So I'm basically, you know, Jason. I'm the only owner of a black condom company here in the U.S. I started my company about 9 years ago, called B Condoms. You can find us at bcondoms.com, or on Instagram at bcondoms. And I basically started it because, you know, everybody used to rock with Magnums and like lifestyles or whatever, but I felt that, you know, we didn't have a brand to really kind of represent the culture, right? So, and when I first looked at it, there were two aspects that were kind of biggest to me. One was, it was like the last element of nightlife that I felt we didn't own, right? So like, if you look at clubs, you look at music, you look at comedy, you look at liquor, you look at clothing, we got ownership in all of that, even on the venue, right? But at the end of the day, everybody's having sex, but we don't own the condom, right? Yeah. So I was like, yo, like you could really come up with a brand that could be impactful, but that could still be like sexy or whatever on top of that. And then the other part about it that came was like, a lot of times people will talk about like teenage pregnancy. They'll talk about like HIV and AIDS, and on the low, they're basically talking about black people as well. But they'll use like coded language and all of that. And I was like, yo, if the condom's the only thing to be able to kind of like battle and protect you from that, we need to be able to kind of set policy, be able to actually have the ownership level, so that we got a seat at the table, so we know what's really kind of coming into our own communities. So then what I did at that point, I used to practice law, so I was a lawyer. So I decided I basically went on like my Frank Lucas. I went on Google, I downloaded like, you know, where do they make condoms? Thailand, China, and Malaysia. I took a leave of absence from the gig, and because I had already known I was checked out, I was going to be leaving. And I caught a flight, and I visited like 16 different manufacturers in China, Thailand, and Malaysia, just me and my backpack. And I was like, yo, I'm going to teach myself the process from like the rubber tree all the way down to the end product. Because I was real big on like, I was like, you know, if I'm going to be passing it out in the community, I need to make sure from like a product perspective that like what I'm actually putting in there is as good, if not better, than what's already in the community. So yeah, so then after that, you know, started the company, me and a couple of business partners of mine, and then we were just kind of able to kind of grow it slowly. And then we kind of focused on government. And that's because, you know, with like what happened is, you know, to get into retail, it's kind of one type of animal or whatever. But, you know, you get a buy here, you then go a little while, you don't get another buy. So, you know, we're always tap dancing, because it's not like, you know, ain't none of us got like $1 million coming out of the gates, few $100,000 coming out of the gates. Right. So whereas if you get a government contract, you got a 3 to 5 year contract, guaranteed money. Right. And the way it works out is like, let's say even like Cincinnati, right? Cincinnati Department of Health, or like Ohio Department of Health, they're buying condoms that they're distributing for free. Right. So I was like, if I can get a piece of those contracts, right, I could then be able to get 3 years of stability, 5 years of stability. Right. But, you know, it wasn't easy, because two parts. On one side, you know, it was hard to kind of get people to take us serious, right? Like they're like, yo, who's this black dude talking about he got a condom company? My man put some porn, like, you know, everybody's trying to size you up to see like what's the real story, right? Like, and at that point, I had a small company. Like now, you know, I may sell 40 million condoms a year, right? Like I'm like straight. I literally started it out of my apartment, and then I built it up to a point at which, you know, we're moving weight now, right? But back then, I didn't have no credibility. I didn't have I didn't have the contacts. I literally built it ground up. So when I was able to start to get those kind of like government contracts, that then gave me the kind of foundation where now, you know, now we're moving more into retail, and you're going to be able to see a lot more of us as we increase our marketing and stuff.